When I was growing up, I was called a gifted child. They said I had an old soul. I discovered things super fast, and they were very excited to tell me that I was a cut above the rest. They said, "Wow, you should skip a few grades. You were super smart." And I said, "No, I want to be around kids my own age." However, a few people around me chose to go to a higher grade because they were gifted. They were in the third grade reading at a sixth grade level. So many small little things told to them because in one particular subject, they were better than everybody else. And it instilled in them this mentality of, I'm gifted. I'm a gifted child. I'm smarter than those around me, and I should have this hubris about me, this ego that will make Icarus cringe. It's so good to have this mentality. Quick, do you know what a 401k is? Any clue at all? Do you know what financing is actually? Not just the word financing. Do you know what that means actually? Do you know if you were to get lost in the forest, could you figure it out how to live? Could you survive? No. No. Well, they didn't teach you any fundamental life skills in school, did they? They just taught you when America was started, July 4th, 1776. Remember that? You know what? The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. You remember that because powerhouse is a cool word. You don't remember what endoplasmic reticulum does, do you? No. Maybe you got taught it was a highway between the cell components. Maybe you were taught that, but that's not the entire truth of it. What does that mean? It's a highway between the cell components. What does that mean? But mitochondria, that's the powerhouse of the cell. You remember that because it's stuck because of the word powerhouse. That's it. They taught you a fun thing. That's your first introduction, I would imagine, to propaganda. It teaches you, if you have a buzzword, a fun, charismatic buzzword, that you'll get it down. But I want to tell you something super cool. I want to be crystal when I say this. I want to get this down pat. Your stupidity, whatever it may be, your incompetence, your laziness, your hesitation becoming a full stop, all those WIPs that you have never completed, your stupidity is not a personal failure. It is not a moral lapse. It is not some genetic inheritance from an ancestor who tripped and hit their head on a rock, oonga bunga status. You're not caveman brain. Don't worry. I'm here for you. It is a planned outcome, a meticulously engineered product rolled off the assembly line of a system that realized centuries ago, that a confused, disoriented, and perpetually distracted populace is infinitely easier to manage than a competent, self-reliant, and critically thinking one. Hence, why I'm a big issue in the online spaces, because I don't agree to everything immediately. I don't just take things at face value. I like to think and read and figure things out. That is a big issue. And you should be in this capacity the same. America didn't just let this happen. It built the factory. It hands you convenience like a pacifier while sharpening the knife of dependency behind its back. That's what it did. From your first packaged baby food to your last Instacart order, you are taught a single devastating lesson. Struggle is a malfunction. Every struggle you've had in your entire life is just something you shouldn't have to deal with. Difficulty, well, that's a glitch in the user interface of life. So when you finally emerge into the raw, unmediated world and it asks you to fend, to build, and persevere, you just stare at it blankly. Well, this is insane. Like a deer in the headlights waiting for a Siri notification to tell you which way to run. Do I go left, right, up, down? I can't figure out anything without GPS. How do you read the stars? We used to figure things out by reading the stars. Based on the location in the sky, we would circumnavigate the world. We didn't even know it was called circumnavigating. We figured it out. We were so intuitive with the world around us. We were so a part of it. We were in nature. They never taught you how to learn. They taught you what to memorize for the test. That's what they did. That's it. They never taught you how to fail with grace and grow from the rubble. They taught you only how to avoid public embarrassment at all costs. Hence why your least favorite subject is probably math. Probably enjoy science, but don't know what it actually means to enjoy science. And then you stand there, ankle deep in the ocean of adult responsibility, drowning in ankle-deep waters, wondering why the floaties they gave you, made of gold star stickers and participation trophies, are dissolving into pulp. This is the great American lie. You're a gifted child. But you're not really. Because when everyone's super, no one will be. I think that's Syndrome from Incredible. That's Syndrome. It's so baked into American life to be weak and hapless, that you are not at fault for what everything is going on because it's peer pressure. Let's look at the architecture of your daily surrender. This is what happens. You get hungry. What do? Well, I guess I'll DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub. That seems to be simple and convenient. I don't want to drive, and naturally, it would just cost a few extra dollars, and I would save some gas money on that. So that's fairly easy. And I just have to pay some poor dude who is doing a side gig job. So easy. Or let's say you need something immediate. Well, you can drive to Walmart and see they don't have it in stock, even though they did say they had it on the website, or you could just use Amazon Prime. Simple. You don't want to forget about a bill payment, such as a phone bill, but you have the money and you don't want that late fee, so you just set it on auto pay. Autofill. Algorithmic recommendations that think before you can think for yourself. That's what it is in this video. Perhaps was an automatic pull, wasn't it? Or maybe you actually enjoy me and you're subscribed to me and you want to watch all my videos because you're so cool and you love me so much and you love seeing this random black guy talk about stuff that bothers him and you love me so much. But this isn't just services that do these things, whether it be the algorithm telling you exactly what it is, the For You page, the Amazon Prime, the Uber Eats, the DoorDash. No, that's not just a service. It's a systematic, profit-driven dismantling of your own capability. Of course you don't know how to cook a meal from scratch. Obviously. Why would you? Why would you? Why would you ever need to know that worthless information? Why would you ever need to know how to make bread? You can summon a feast with your thumb. Like a wizard whose only spell is consume. That's it. Of course, you don't know basic finance or understand it at all. Obviously. Comparison shopping or how to repair a loose hinge. You don't know any of that. You don't know how to do comparison shopping. You barely know how to coupon or budget. Coupons still work, mind you. And you not the ones on the app, the in-person coupons that you scan a QR code at the plate. They're better actually because you can combine coupons because they say you can combine coupons, which are better coupons. You can do that. There's coupon books you can still buy and they're really efficient and good. I learned this because I'm broke. This is great. The economy isn't a system to be understood. It's a labyrinth designed to exhaust and confound anyone who tries to navigate it with intention instead of impulse. One thing I really discovered, and it's really cool, is that upon trying to discover all this, whether it be trying to figure out taxes or how to understand what actually a 401k is, it is relatively simple to do so if you spend an hour on it. But you'd have to spend an hour on it. That's the biggest issue. That's the biggest divide between learning a new skill. It's spending more than 10 minutes. If you don't immediately get it, you often say, well, this isn't meant for me. This is worthless. It's unlearned. I don't need to learn this. You don't have to instantly get something. It doesn't matter that way. That's how it works. Convenience is a trap. It is a velvet-lined trap over and over again. It feels as if it's comfort, like a pillow on the back of your neck. Feels great. It whispers promises of ease, but the true function is to systematically replace your survival instincts one by one until you become a soft, placid creature that experiences a genuine spike of blood pressure when the Wi-Fi signal flickers. Oh no, everything in my house functions off Wi-Fi. Oh my goodness, this is bad. My TV, my everything, my fridge won't work. For some reason, my car won't open unless I have a phone app. I've witnessed cars where that happens. Insane, isn't it? It becomes a fundamental part of your identity, your curated playlist, your social validation, your very sense of connection is hosted on a server farm you don't own and cannot fix. That is the fault of how we have built America. The world, essentially, is built this way, and it's very, very bad. It's horrifying. I have a real question for you. Let's do a thought experiment, me and you, together, as a family, as friends. We love each other, right? You love me. We are in this very fun, platonic, interpersonal relationship that is not parasocial at all, despite the fact that I'm paraplegic. No, I'm not paraplegic. I'm paraglider. I'm Paralympics. Who knows? I'm para something. I'm paralyzed by my thought process and my questions. So, if you were dropped into a forest right now, with no phone, no GPS, no credit card, just you, the dirt, and the trees, what would you do? What would the first thing you do? Could you distinguish a death cap mushroom from a regular one? I believe it's called a chanterelle, is the name of the mushroom that is simple. Could you find a water source and make it safe to drink without a Brita filter? Do you know how to filter water? Do you know how? Could you build a shelter, create fire, and signal for help? Could you do that? Do you know how to? It's not just as simple as rubbing tree sticks together. It's not that easy. Could you do that? Or would you just stand there, looking at the untamed wilderness as if it were a pop-up and you couldn't close? You're just looking at it saying, wow, this looks pretty, but it's kind of scary. What's that noise? Bugs are everywhere. What do I do? How do I get rid of bugs? The system never intended for you to know these things. It trained you for one primary function: to be a worker, a consumer, a smoothly interchangeable, quietly humming gear in a vast profit extracting machine. That is what you are. That's it. That's all you are. You were educated to be harmless to the established order, and in doing so, they made you a danger to no one but yourself when the machine inevitably sputters. You don't know what to do. And I believe this starts off from one simple thing: it's being gifted. For so many beautiful, amazing, talented people that always say, "Oh, I failed my potential. I've not lived up to my potential." I want to say this right now: there's no such thing as failing your potential or not living up to it. It doesn't exist. It's not raw ignorance. It's the polished fallout of being labeled as gifted. When I initially started this video, I called you gifted. You were called bright, smart, ahead of the curve, at an age when you believed in a tooth fairy. They gave you praise instead of a foundation. They gave you shortcuts instead of resilience. They handed you straight A report cards that were less a measure of understanding and more a receipt of compliance. That is how it operated. And now you're an adult who expects instant mastery, who feels a shearing sense of professional defectiveness when a new skill doesn't click into place after one tutorial. You were taught to be impressive, not inquisitive. That's it. That's all that happened. You were taught that learning should feel effortless, and if it requires struggle, it means your gift was a fraud. And that isn't stupidity. That is sophisticated, deeply embedded programming designed to create a high-performing, easily burnable asset. And that's what you are. A nothing burger of a human being that doesn't know anything about nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't know a thing. Golly. Look at you, an adult, hoping one day they'll make a way for you to teleport to the bathroom so you don't gotta get up in the middle of the night when you gotta pee. One day it's gonna happen. They're gonna make a pee sack. You can just stick it in your Google Goppin and pee immediately. Maybe they'll be able to circumvent the poop out of your system too. A lot of you would probably get Neuralink because you could just think thoughts and your brain is already so melted and mushed from all the brain rot of 6-second clips that you're gonna say, okay, I have an idea. What if I had a Neuralink that had ads, and that would be fun and easy, and it would immediately give me information and access to the internet in a way that's easily digestible, and I wouldn't have to do that. That is bad. Here you are, buddy. That's you, an adult, holding the controller of your own life. But you're feeling utterly stun-locked, completely stun-locked. You wonder why you can't just download competence in a new language. Why can't you do that? A trade, a complex idea. You can't do that. You can't just download it. Why can't I just get a software update? Well, if you get Neuralink, you could. That'd be fun. It'd be fun to get a Neuralink. You can train your Neuralink. Tell you something important. This is for us gamers with a hard R. Gamer with a hard ass, you guys. It's fun. You were handed a max level character file saved just as a child. That's what happened. With all the best gear, but none of the actual experience points. You accidentally cheated. You never grinded in the low-level zones. You never died to the same boss 20 times and learned its attack patterns. Every time you try something new and meet resistance, well, you quit. I give up. This is a little bit too difficult. Interpreting the friction as a sign of your own inherent brokenness. Simply, that's not true. You were simply raised in a system that valued your compliance far more than your capability. It wanted you docile and not durable. That's why adulthood doesn't feel as if it's a new game. It feels as if you've been dropped into the final boss fight with a starter weapon and no potions, but it's all there. It's all there. You have the world's strongest device in your hands at all points in time, essentially. You have the ability to learn, but choose not to, because you were never taught to choose to learn. You were taught to remember something, but you're not sure what to remember anymore because there's no test coming up. Newsflash. Sorry, flash hole. Flash hole news ass. Always, there's a test happening. And you perpetually should be studying for a test that could possibly pop up. I'm not saying be a worrywart and worry about every single thing. No, I'm saying be ready and resilient, player one. I am here for you. You should be here for yourself as well. You should. It is not your fault, but it is your problem. You know? I want you to hear me very clearly when I say this. You did not choose this. You did not design the cage. You did not ask for us to be sculpted into a docile convenience baby who panics at the first sign of friction, effort, or the need for delayed gratification. The blame lies with the architects. But The responsibility for your liberation now lies with you. That's right. You're the problem. It's not your fault, but you're the problem. I can promise you, with every fiber of my being, no one is coming to save you. I will tell you a fun little interpersonal story. This is so cool. I love this so much. I was homeless at the age of 18, and I was waiting for somebody to come and save me, a mother, a father, a cousin, a brother, a sister, something, a mentor. Nothing happened. I immediately panicked. I didn't know what to do. And it wasn't some impulse that I became homeless. It's not an impulse when you get hit by a car and sidewinded. It's not an impulse. It's the other driver that destroyed you. It's not some impulse when you get a life-changing disease such as cancer or diabetes. That's not what it is. It is an event in life that you have to be ready for. That's what happens. That's what's going on. You have to be ready to build this. A big thing that happens with a lot of people is when they get to a point of friction in life, such as homelessness, they immediately panic. And that's what I did. I panicked for exactly 3 hours and realized, okay, let me go to a library and ask for help. I went to a library and got a bunch of resources, and all the resources failed me immediately because I was immediately attacked upon entering the first shelter by a crazy homeless man. And we both got kicked out because I instigated the fight, apparently. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. It is horrible. You don't know what to do. I have no clue what to do. So I roamed the streets. I lived behind a bakery, ate the day-olds. That's what happened. That's life. That's reality. That's what happens in the real world here. Especially when circumstances destroy you, you don't have your coveted convenience. The reason my life sounds so psychotic to a lot of people is simply by virtue of you have not suffered because things have been handed to you, or because you had the ability to learn at a reasonable pace. Everybody doesn't get that. The system is profitable when you are confused. It makes money when you panic buy the solution. It makes money when you're in the gotcha game and say, well, this boss is hard, so I guess I better buy this thing to make the boss easier. I'll buy this to make it easier. I'll do this to make it easier. It thrives on your cultivated helplessness. However, I want to tell you this right now. Look at me. Look at me. Look at that. Look at my eyeballs. Look at them. Look at them. Okay, you don't gotta look at them that much. The lights hurt my eyes too much. You are not condemned to this fate. Stupidity is a curable condition. Proud of you. Confusion is a solvable equation. Ignorance is a darkness that can be lit. The only terminal illness in this entire diagnosis is complacency. The free ride is over. You must now become your own teacher, your own mentor, your own gruff, demanding wilderness instructor. You have to pursue knowledge with the same ferocious, single-minded desperation you once reserved for chasing comfort and distraction. Hyperfixate on learning if you could for a second. And I don't mean learning things, just niche knowledge. I know about Elizabeth Bathory. I know about her. She's super cool. I know what Beetleborgs are. I've seen Kamen Rider because I'm super hyper fixated on it. It's my special interest. No. I mean understanding how the world functions and how it works. Understanding your local government. Understanding your local elections. Understanding how taxes work. Understanding what they're going for. Don't be a single issue voter. Understand how your own biology works. That's very important to know how your own biology works. Most people don't know their body fat percentage. You can just buy a little clip and figure it out with your belly fat. It's really easy. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard to do so. You can figure things out. Most people can't read serving sizes. Most people cannot read serving sizes. I know and you may not be able to read a serving size. You're probably wondering why I'm stressing out about this so much. Serving sizes they're right there on the box. They tell you exactly what it is. But most people don't know how to use a measuring cup. Most people don't know that the correct portion for cereal is not until the bowl is full and whatever thing you can find. It's cups. It's specific cups. Most people eat 3 serving sizes of cereal in the morning. Most. And cereal is dessert, basically. You don't even know what all the sugar's doing to your body. Have no clue because it just tastes good. And then one day you wake up with a headache and your body is all achy because you haven't stretched and you don't know that you're supposed to stretch, but you don't want to commit to stretching because guess what, guys? You haven't been taught to actually work on your body. The only thing you actually truly basically own in this lifetime is your body. You own this. This is what you got. That's what you own. That's it. Nothing else. You don't own these glasses, the shirt. You barely own your hair sometimes, but you own your body. That's what you got. Sometimes your teeth. Unless you sold them to pay off that car loan. That's where you're at. Understanding will not arrive in a glowing package. It will not be delivered to your doorstep in a branded bag with complimentary condiments. Thank you, Chick-fil-A. You are amazing. I love Chick-fil-A. It's the only place I can trust on DoorDash. I am very disgusted by what they do, but by goodness, I have nowhere else to eat at sometimes, and I have tried cooking for myself. But man, it is so difficult. They should make a cooking channel where they show you the person washing the dishes. So they show you the dishes on top of the recipe. Because, oh my god, that would be so much easier for my mental because no one suspects the dishes. So many. You have to go out and wrestle with what life is. You have to fail publicly, privately, and repeatedly over and over again. To the end of time, you must learn through the grating, beautiful friction of not knowing and persevere. You have to fight your own cultivated softness, rep by rep, until your mind becomes something sharp, resilient, and dangerous, a tool sharp enough to cut through the very lies you were raised to believe. And that's what's gonna happen. I have a few people that I know that say, man, it's so difficult to do this thing, gain muscle, learn a skill, this. Just keep trying. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be over and over again. It's gonna suck forever. It's gonna suck. I know a lot of people, I tell them, hey, this is how you do YouTube. You just keep doing it until it works. And they give up after 5 videos and say, I'm not getting anywhere. Well, it's because you gave up their 5 videos. Yeah, but I tried so hard. Who gives a damn? No one cares if you try hard. Keep trying. No one cares if you tried your best. Do better. That's life. Your best is not good enough, so make your best better. Do that. This is your moment. This is your magnum opus. This is the day. This is the line in the sand. This is the moment you stop internalizing the shame of your own manufactured helplessness and start directing your fury at the machine that engineered it. But this is also the line where you stop letting the machine win. You must pick up the axe, the one that was too heavy, too dangerous, too obsolete for your modern life, and you must start carving your own mind into something new. Something resilient, something wildly, insatiably curious, something unstoppable. You were not meant for this docile numbness. You were not meant to be carried through life like passive cargo on a conveyor belt you don't control. Seek knowledge as if it owes you money. Learn aggressively, fail loudly, and then get up and fail better. Thrive in the very places your younger programmed self would have been terrified to even look. It is time to be the pioneer of yourself. Thank you, and good night.
Your nigga night be my loyalties low. Happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. I love the ride when you're free.